Good morning. American farmers are getting hit hard by the trade wars. The high tariffs on fertilizers and equipment are driving up their input costs, and Brazil and Russia, most notably, have dramatically increased their crop exports to China, while retaliatory tariffs on U.S. farm products have made exports from North American farms uncompetitive. We've shared before about corn, wheat, and soybeans, and now we're watching the same thing in cotton. Brazil's exports of cotton more than tripled in the first part of last year, up 238%, and Brazilian cotton exports to China were up 14 times to almost $1 billion. Now China is the biggest buyer, taking more than half of Brazil's cotton output. This year, 2025, it's more the same. Brazil's share of world cotton exports is at a new record at over 30%, passing the United States for the first time, and now Brazil is the world's top exporter of cotton. Cotton prices are grinding lower, dropping by over a third since early last year. West Texas is a key cotton growing region in the United States, and farmers there are in big trouble. Cotton requires lots of fertilizer, which is going up in price because of the tariffs. The United States gets much of its potash for fertilizer from Canada, and double-digit increases in tariffs are driving all those prices up, increasing over 12% overall. Cotton farmers are also hit with high costs for equipment. Cotton pickers cost over $1 million. Nobody makes a cotton picker but John Deere, so they don't have a choice. Let's stop right there and point out that John Deere is not the only manufacturer of cotton pickers. This is a used CP770 by Deere, one of their largest cotton harvesters. It's $933,000. A cotton picker with similar specs is about half that, new, under $500,000 from China. This CP690 from John Deere is a little smaller and costs around $500,000 used. These machines are 5-10 years old. A new Chinese machine, same engine power, costs less than half of the price of a used John Deere harvester. And that right there is a huge part of the problem for U.S. farmers. The same capital equipment that is driving high productivity gains in Brazil, in this case, costs less than half as much as what American farmers need to pay. Cotton farmers in Brazil can still make a lot of money, even though prices are falling. So this year will be an even better year for farmers in Brazil, while things get worse in the United States. Demand for cotton is falling, and China is a primary driver of that. Polyester production in China is growing and is now twice the size of the global cotton market. China remains a key buyer for American cotton, but at far lower levels than before. Chinese companies are making much more synthetic fiber, and China has moved most of its supply chain for cotton from the U.S. to Brazil. That's happened in just 7 years, and the U.S. market share of Chinese cotton went from 42% to just 17%, and prices have been falling ever since. The blue lines in this chart are cotton, and man-made fibers are in gray. 25 years ago, synthetic fabrics production was about 20% higher compared to cotton's. Now it's over 4 times higher. Cotton farmers are complaining here that India, Pakistan, and China are exporting their man-made fabrics duty-free, and that contributes to steep declines in production from U.S. cotton mills, about a 75% drop in 20 years. American cotton farmers now are desperate for a new farm bill, which will bail them out. The Rio Grande Valley region has suffered from drought and floods, and now the tariffs and trade wars are shutting off their export markets. The high tariffs caught farmers there leaning the wrong way. The announcements came after they already had crops in the ground, so it was too late to switch. It's a terrible situation for U.S. farmers and an opportunity for Brazil. The incentives from Washington have compelled farmers to grow for export markets instead of for U.S. consumers. Now the export markets are gone, and increased productivity for farmers across the world have pushed prices down, even in the American market. This is Siram Lake in Xinjiang. Be good.